Hello everyone, intuitive and astrologer Lisa Salvatore here to talk to you about the first half of April leading up to the Libra full moon that takes place on April 15th. Just to break this up a little bit and make it more digestible, I'm going to come back with the second half of April within the next few weeks. This video will talk about the first half of April, and for both members and subscribers, there will be deeper insights and a reading through each sign. So let's go ahead and paint a picture for the month of April, energetically speaking, astrologically speaking, spiritually speaking. April's energy is like a turning point in our favorite movie. Coming off the energy of March, March was a month of twists and turns, a lot of deep, involved, frenetic energy. We had 2 eclipses in the month of March, and we are still feeling the settlement of the energy of March, the electricity, metaphorically speaking, of the energy of March as we settle into some form of a new reality. You know that moment in the movie where the hero finally gets a clear plan, or if you're familiar with tarot, if you look at the Fool card, the very first card ruled by Uranus, the Fool is all about taking a leap of faith. The Fool's journey starts it all over again. It's a brand new cycle. That is what the first half of April feels like. Astrologically speaking, both planets Mercury and Venus are getting their acts together. They're going to station direct. And suddenly, confusion clears as the fog parts. The confusion and the fog that have permeated the air, the energy for the last month and a half or so. Clarity starts to kick in. You can actually see the path ahead. You can see glimmers of the path ahead. And it's not as scary or as complicated as we once thought, as you once thought. Now, we start the month of April off under the fiery energy of Aries. And before we get to the end of April, we will move into Taurus season, the grounded, practical energy of Taurus. So we're going from the fiery, fast-paced fire of Aries into the calm, grounded energy of Taurus the bull. Imagine starting the month off as if we're running a marathon, and by the time we get to the end of the month, we're now not running any longer and we're on a scenic trail. That is like the energy, the shift from Aries into Taurus. We're still moving, but at a different pace. It's not about stopping, it's about moving forward in a more thoughtful, deliberate manner. This is the time to stop, take a look around, reassess, reevaluate, make a solid plan, and then realign. And there's nothing boring about the month of April, so don't worry about that. It's practical and it's purposeful, helping to lay the foundation for the future, for what's to come, for the next steps ahead for you, for your next big moves even. Meanwhile, fiery Mars is finally leaving Cancer and entering the sign of Leo, flexing his creative muscles, and he moves into Leo hand in hand with Neptune in fiery Aries. Bold, new ideas, visions, plans. This is an astrological duo that we have not had in over a century, the Neptune and Aries. More about that in my 2025 forecast, linked in the description box below. This is all about fresh motivations, new starts, personally and collectively. New ideas popping up left and right, sometimes faster than we can even grasp onto. You're going to likely feel surges of inspiration as we move throughout the month. Like a burst of your creativity, creative energy just clicks into place. It's the kind of energy that gets you hyped for what's next. And man, oh man, do we need that. Now we still have Saturn, the grounding force, hanging out in the sign of Pisces, the wise old teacher, keeping it real, reminding us of what still needs to be done, and allowing us to dream, but to make a plan for the future. Saturn here is just making sure that our dreams do not float away out into La La Land. Think of this energy as you're going on a trip and your grounded best friend is reminding you to bring that map for that epic road trip. Plans can feel big and bold and exciting this month, but also achievable. No empty pipe dreams, just solid steps toward the future. Toward the future you genuinely want and desire, I should say. So, as you step into the month of April, think of it as the calm before the next big adventure. This is your chance to refocus, recharge, and make a plan that you can actually stick to. The sky is not just clearing energy, it's calling you to dream big and move smart. Before we get to the breakdown, I just want to remind you that if you are new here, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Drop a like, drop a comment. It really helps to grow my channel and continue to support my work. And thank you so much to those that support my work. I am so genuinely grateful to each and every single one of you. If you're interested in my memberships, this is where I give deeper insights each month. Each week I go live with a podcast for the week ahead. It's interactive, and then the recordings are posted right after if you can't attend the lives. There's monthly live streams, meditations, and more. Be sure to click the link in the description box below to the Substack subscription. Everything else on where to find me can be found in the description box below, along with courses and products, and also at lisasalvatore.com. Now, without further ado, let's get into the first half of April. Here we go, April 2025. I already mentioned this, but everything is in the description box below. Sign up for my newsletter. I have a free option and a paid option. You can find all private sessions, events, etc. at my website, lisasalvatore.com. And obviously you're here on my YouTube channel. Please note that I have a lot of free content and also paid content to help support you on your spiritual and astrological journey. I've got a tutorial on how to pull up your own birth chart, which also goes into detail about how we have every sign in our birth chart. That is free. It's linked in the description box below, along with a downloadable guide through the houses. That is also free. If, however, you wanted to go on a deeper journey, I have a 3-part tutorial series here that goes much more in depth on how to track transits, new moons, full moons, etc. in your birth chart. That will also be linked in the description box below, and you can find that under the courses tab on my website. April 1st and 2nd, we've got Venus still retrograde, aligning with the North Node at 27 degrees of Pisces. This can bring in really strong moments of fate within relationships, creativity, and our finances. But Venus is still retrograde, so this is definitely a time of reflection. And then as we move throughout the month, especially as we get towards the end of the month, it'll be more of a time to take action, or you will have that call to action present itself to you. You could definitely be feeling nostalgic for the past, for a relationship of the past. You could be feeling drawn to someone or something from your past. This can also have you revisiting energies that you no longer align with, and then you will be realigning. There's recognition and realignment. Because the North Node's involved here, this is all about your destiny, your fate. That's what Venus retrograde is all about. It's about reassessing our values, reassessing our connections, reassessing our love nature, our money, our relationship to all of the above, and most importantly, our relationship to self, and honoring what is no longer working for us and being confident and fearless to move forward. So pay very close attention as we begin the month of April to all of the signs and synchronicities that could be presenting themselves to you. Whether this is coming in through the dream space, because dreams are highly active and colorful, or literally coming into your life. And pay very close attention to anything and everything that feels like it's unfolding almost effortlessly in your life. We're also going to have Mercury aligning with the North Node the day after at 27 degrees of Pisces. Mercury is the messenger, and the energy is being amplified by that North Node, the North Node in Pisces, which is all about destiny and fate. Messages coming in left and right, literally, intuitively, in the dream space. That's why it's really important to pay very close attention and not just write things off as coincidence. I always say there's no such thing as coincidence. Speaking of when things unfold effortlessly, something that I always advise my clients with, and I remind myself of this all the time, it's not as complicated as our human selves make it. When something is aligned and purposeful and right for us, or we're meant to explore it, it tends to come in, it tends to come to us. That's Spirit's way of saying to you, hey, explore this. This is for you. It may not be for you ultimately in the long term, but we definitely want you to explore this. Your soul knows this is something that's good for you. It's right for you right now. When you're getting the green lights left and right, that means go. Go for it. Go toward it. On the other side of the coin, when it's the red lights that keep cropping up and it might be something that you really want, and as you try to move towards it, the energy keeps stopping you, blocking you. That's Spirit's way of telling you, no, this is not right for you. And when we push forth, even with those warnings, that's where we end up with a lesson instead of a blessing. Sometimes it's both, but either way, synchronicity, fate, destiny, all really very powerful all month long, but especially as we walk into the month of April. Then we get to April 3rd through the 5th. We're still very much under that energy of destiny here with the North Node and Venus and Mercury. Venus and Mercury both retrograde, aligning in Pisces. Lots of psychic hits, lots of downloads, lots of information coming in and coming through. Mars is over here at 24 degrees in a sextile to Uranus, and Uranus is in a sextile to Saturn. Saturn is in a trine to Mars, so this is a really supportive, emotional, watery energy, intuitively supportive of our dreams, supportive of our visions. With discipline and focus and being open to change, we can really move ahead. or at least we can plan to do so. April 5th through the 8th, we have the influence of Mars and Venus in a supportive aspect, Mars in Cancer, Venus in Pisces. And then we also have Venus in alignment with Saturn. This is all about commitment, connection, and collaboration within relationships. It's a strong and sturdy energy that can really help us to launch ahead. Projects can start to pick up steam, but we still want to tread a little bit lightly as Venus is very stationary at this point. Miscommunications can still be very heightened, but communication is coming in. This is just one of the quotes that I always say, and it reminds me of Venus and Saturn. Connect to what you are committed to, and then commit to what you are connected to. So it's really important to identify what is genuinely important to you and for you, and then you make a commitment to continue to connect to that energy and utilize that for your future. Mercury is also stationary at this point, which adds to that energy of a lot of communication, but still some potential miscommunications and that lost in translation energy. April 7th, Mercury will station direct at 26 degrees and 49 minutes of Pisces. And I don't know about you, but this Mercury retrograde was very retrograde-y for me. Not all retrogrades, not all Mercury retrogrades land the same, but this one was definitely a lot. It felt very scattered and very anxiety producing. And I'm going to venture to guess that if you are somebody with strong Gemini, Virgo, or any of the mutable signs, Pisces, Sagittarius, Gemini, or Virgo, you likely really have felt and might even still be feeling the Mercury energy here in the way of overwhelm and scatteredness. So you'll be happy to know that that's going to start to lift. When we get to April 12th, we have our full moon in Libra. And I think I said April 15th at the beginning of my video here, which is not true. The forecast is taking us through the 15th, but the full moon in Libra takes place on April 12th. It occurs at 8:22 p.m. Eastern Time at 23 degrees and 19 minutes of Libra. Everyone will experience the full moon energy. Full moons are always a time of heightened awareness, heightened intuition, electrifying energy for better or worse. Relationships and relationship dynamics are at the forefront. Communication in relationships at the forefront. Epiphanies, recognitions, potential reconciliations, a resurrection of some sort. This is the time of year where in the Northern Hemisphere, spring has sprung, bringing forth new life, renewal, rejuvenation, and resurrecting a part of yourself in a new manner. This moon is called the pink moon as it correlates to the season of spring, and it corresponds with the early springtime wildflowers. While everyone will experience the full moon energy, it's going to feel the strongest for our cardinal signs, which are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, and even more so if you have any of your points and or placements falling between 21 and 25 degrees of any of those cardinal signs, which again are Cancer, Capricorn, Libra, Aries. You can always pull up your birth chart for free. I've got it linked in the description box below. And note the area of your chart, the part of your chart that contains Libra, as this is where the full moon will illuminate the energies for you. You can experience a heightened awareness in this area or areas of your life, epiphanies. You could actually have closures and or new beginnings. Renewal being the key word. Relationships, and renewal. I always like to reiterate the significance of understanding the impact of the full moon on your natal chart or your birth chart and in your current reality, because this is incredibly helpful for understanding and managing any and all deep emotions that arise within you and or feelings of built up stress and crisis, the anxiety, and the internal conflicts that can crop up and how to manage them externally as well. Every full moon is going to land differently for you based on your own unique astrological configuration. In the How to Pull Up Your Birth Chart video in the description box, I go through this in more detail, so be sure to check that out. Now let's get to the full moon. Even though April overall has a lot of positive energy to it, there's a lot of change at the forefront, and change can feel taxing and change can feel stressful. We are still very much under the energy of the eclipses, even though this is not an eclipse. We are still settling into the energies of both the lunar eclipse that took place on March 14th and the solar eclipse we're just coming off of that took place on March 29th. Endings and beginnings. Realizations, reconciliations, the cutoffs of certain situations, the endings of certain situations. Change can be scary and change can be stressful, but change can also be beautiful. And this full moon energy has all of the above. We see here the sun is at 23 degrees and 19 minutes of Aries, directly opposite the moon at 23:19 of Libra, which is how we have a full moon, when the sun and the moon are 180 degrees exactly opposite one another by sign, minute, and degree. Chiron at 23 degrees of Aries is exactly aligned with the sun and opposite the moon. Chiron is the space we hold within that carries with it the wounded warrior within all of us. This is where we have the potential. This is where we hold some sort of a wound, around our individuality as it falls in the sign of Aries, around asserting our own courage and strength, and being able to move forward fearlessly. So there could be some emotional recognition, and that will be felt even stronger, by the way, if you're Aries, Libra, Cancer, or Capricorn. There's some kind of recognition here that pertains to your identity, where there's this recognition of, oh my goodness, I got it now. This is what's been holding me back. So it's really important to remember that what hurts us is also medicinal. The full moon is in Libra, and the ruling planet of Libra is Venus. And that's really significant because Venus is retrograde right now at 24 degrees and 37 minutes of Pisces, but Venus is stationary. She is about to station direct right at the heels of this full moon. So Venus is speaking, okay? Venus is awakening from her slumber, from her rest in the underworld, although it wasn't really a rest. She's coming up now. I mean, literally speaking, Venus is emerging as a morning star. She has metamorphosized into a higher version of herself. There's a lot of recognition that is taking place as it comes to our own value, where we may feel like we have not been being valued or where we may not have been valuing ourselves. It can feel very sensitive and very emotional, but very liberating and rewarding at the same time. Don't doubt yourself for what you've let go of to make way for the new. Really strong reminder around this full moon. So Venus, the ruler of this full moon, is retrograde. Venus is aligned with Saturn and the North Node, and Mercury here now direct. So there's a lot going on intuitively, emotionally, physically, spiritually. So take very good care of yourself. Collectively speaking, we could be hearing a lot involving medicine and medical in general. So protect your health, protect your peace, wash your hands, take your supplements, do all the things, because there's a lot going around out there. Lots of bugs, lots of flus, etc. We're all feeling much more receptive. And when we're hyper emotional, our immunity is lower. So protect yourself. Venus is also making what we call the inconjunct or the quincunx to the moon, which is interesting because Venus is ruling this moon right now, the full moon, because Venus rules Libra. But Venus in Pisces, inconjunct the moon, is saying that our emotions might not be aligning right now with the actions that we're ready to take, and that's okay. There's a little bit of a disconnect that could be happening here, but the more you try to intellectualize or objectify your emotions, the worse that is going to feel. So trust, surrender, and allow yourself to move into the flow of these energies, and this too shall pass, and clarity will come through. What we will also likely see under the Venus-Saturn energies here in Pisces is a lot having to do with feminine energies and medicine, internal medicine, perhaps new policies around maternity leave and paternity leave, pregnancy, new medications, situations having to do with the medical field in general, and especially as it pertains to childbirth, new regulations, new policies. And I do think this is going to pertain to both the UK and the US. So there will likely be a lot in the news surrounding these areas. A lot about our rights, equality, justice, new mandates going to the courts. We'll be hearing a lot of rumblings around this full moon. The South Node in Virgo opposing all of this Pisces energy is asking us to just let go right now, let go of the need to have all of the answers, and to rely on our faith and on the unseen to help to move us forward. Rely on our intuition. The North Node's in an exact alignment with Mars. However, Mars is involved in a tense configuration with both the Sun and the Moon at this full moon. Mars at 27 of Cancer is making a square to the Moon in Libra, and also to the Sun in Aries. And obviously the Sun and Moon are opposing each other, so that brings in a T-square. This is tension. This is friction. Everybody wants to be the boss. Everybody's hyper-emotional and believes that they're right. This could really crop up in family dynamics right now. So just be very mindful of that your words will carry a lot more weight. And it's important to take a breath, take a minute. And we also have a stressful aspect from Pluto here. We've got Pluto here at 3 degrees of Aquarius in a square to the moon, also in a square to the sun. So things can feel very heated, very fated, definitely a fiery, fated feeling to this lunation, to this full moon, to the whole month, but specifically around the full moon. This is where some serious closure can come in for you, particularly involving a relationship, a partnership of some kind. And it could be from a long time ago. Blast from the past, but with the intention of helping you to move forward and close the door for good. Strong karmic implications around this time. Neptune's now at 0 degrees of Aries, pioneering the way, the future, the vision. We've got a few months of Neptune in Aries before it dips back into Pisces. So we're definitely going to be getting a glimmer collectively of what's to come. We could actually see the dissolution of boundaries across the globe and potentially literal structures. And that will be even more enhanced as we move towards August, September, and October. And again, you can go and check out my 2025 forecast because I go into much more detail about the entrance of Neptune into Aries because it's a big deal. But here it pulls in that fiery vision that we have for the future, aligning with our most authentic self. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. Aries is the pioneer. Aries is the fearless leader that's not afraid to take control, to live in their truth, to be bold, to be brave, to be courageous. That's what's being asked of all of us right now in one or more areas of our lives. Also to come together collectively with our community to help to move things forward in a more positive manner. Here is where this full moon will take place for you by your rising sign. Please follow your rising sign first as it will be the most accurate. And then of course you can follow your sun sign and or your moon if you know it. But this is where you will likely feel the full moon energies. And for some of you, there could be literal events that take place, chapters closing, culminations, new beginnings. I have a full moon meditation for you to use around this time. It's also going to be linked in the description box below, so feel free to use that. Take some quiet time for reflection, journal. Be proud of yourself for how far you have come. Honor all of the beauty of that which you are. Honor the ways in which you have been more courageous than you could ever have imagined. Honor the ways that you're proud of yourself and try really hard to silence that self-critic. That's what the Virgo South Node right now is asking us to do. Be kinder to oneself and be kinder to others. That makes a kinder world. Right at the heels of this full moon, Venus is stationing direct on April 12th, 9:02 p.m. Eastern Time, literally as the full moon is peaking. Venus will station at 24 degrees and 38 minutes of Pisces. I highly suggest, if you have not already done so, to go to your birth chart and to go to the parts of your birth chart that contain both Aries and Pisces, because these two areas have been and will continue to receive quite a bit of energy and quite a bit of awakenings. Mind, body, spirit. A lot of people are having their abilities, their own psychic intuitive abilities, which we all have, by the way. A lot of people are recognizing abilities that have been dormant previously, or their abilities are shifting, or the way they receive information psychically is shifting, or their awareness is just becoming much more open. They're becoming much more open to spirituality, to faith, and that's good. That's where we're all at collectively. As Venus stations direct, think of it like she's literally rising from the ashes. Venus has been in the underworld, her own underworld, where she's been forced, or not forced, but coerced into re-examining and reassessing her value, her worth, her being the divine feminine in all of us. So this is again about the way that we connect, the way that we connect with others, and to self, the way that we value oneself. If what we've been placing value on, do we really need to be placing value on that? When Venus stations direct, there's always this epiphany or a recognition. But going deeper into the Venus story, the real Venus work begins now that Venus is direct and we get ready, even though we have time, we get ready for her next retrograde cycle, which will not be until October of 2026. And I'm going to come back, obviously, and talk about that. But from now, especially until mid-2026, it's really important to pay very close attention to the Venus areas of your life, meaning the way that you connect, what you place value on. Okay, now I'm sounding like a broken record, so I'm going to keep it moving. I'll stop here at the mid-month point, April 15th. Juno, asteroid Juno, which is currently retrograde, will retrograde back into Scorpio. And then it will get all the way to 16 degrees of Scorpio, where Juno will be until July 11th. Why is this significant? Juno is another space that speaks to value and connectivity. Juno is an asteroid that speaks to soulmate markers. But more than that, it speaks to fidelity and infidelity and energies surrounding betrayal. And again, the way we do relationships and what we need out of our relationships. And in Scorpio, it has this depth of emotion and intensity and heat. It's very psychologically demanding that we go inward and honor the parts of ourselves, all parts, especially, and of course, the parts that we do not deem as pretty, i.e. the shadow self. That's the energy of Scorpio. It has us looking at our shadowy material, our perceived shadowy material, especially as it pertains to our relationships. So again, relationships are a really big theme right now. I will stop this here. I'm going to come back with the second half of April shortly. Take really good care. Take care of the body, take care of the mind, take care of the spirit. Unsubscribe to that which is no longer serving you, and peacefully. Especially around that Libra full moon, because Libra is a sign of negotiation, cooperation, and ultimately peace at the end of the day. But when we are not at peace within self, we cannot be at peace within relationships. Remember that, within relationships to others. Another big energy of Libra is relationships, partnerships, collaborations, cooperations. And this is relationships of all kinds: business, marital, familial. So think about it. See how this lands and resonates for you. Signing off. Take really good care. Bye. Hello, everyone. Warm wishes for a happy and healthy 2025. I am so excited to be here with all of you, all of my beautiful subscribers, and to continue to put out supportive content. I will continue to give you astrological and intuitive updates. My channel will not be changing. I will be doing new moon and full moon readings along with some insights through the signs, monthly astrological and energetic updates, astrology updates overall, and some more how-to videos, readings on current events, etc. None of that will change. That will all still be here on my channel, but I am excited to roll out a few new options for 2025. Here on YouTube, I now have a membership. That membership is $7.99 a month. You do not have to join the membership, but you can if you want to. And what that membership encompasses is obviously all of the general free content that is out there and will continue to be out there, but with more exclusive content. So every Sunday, I go live and I give the astrological and energetic forecast for the upcoming week. And we have some spiritual chit chat there. There's a live chat. Now that is going to be sent to you with the YouTube membership by recording. If you wanted to be a part of the live stream, I have another subscription, which is based on Substack, which is where I have my newsletter and where I am the most interactive. And that will also be linked in the description box below if you're interested in that. But the Substack membership is $10 a month, okay, to be transparent, or $100 per year. And every Sunday, I do go live and I give the astrological and energetic update and forecast. And it's, like I said, it's interactive and I answer questions. And then monthly, I do a live Zoom where I go into more details for each month, readings through the signs. And in those monthly lives, there's also the opportunity to be read, both astrologically and psychically, combination of the two. That is with my Substack subscription. That is with my newsletter subscription, to be clear. The YouTube subscription, the one that is $7.99 a month, you will get the recordings of everything that I do on my Substack newsletter. To join the YouTube subscription, all you have to do is go right to my homepage and just click join. And once again, thank you to all of my amazing subscribers. I'm so thankful and grateful to each and every one of you. I'm also grateful that I get to provide this content, and I really hope that it supports you on your spiritual journey.